2024 was filled with great mods, and if you wanted to make sure that you didn't miss the best of the best, you came to the right video. Today we will take a look at over 50 of the best mods of the year, and we will award them based on their quality and how well they can stand out in their respective categories. Before we begin, I want to present the diverse panel of judges that will help me decide what mods were the best of the year. And now, without further ado, I want to welcome you guys to the first annual, maybe, Nariva Mod Awards 2024. We're gonna start with the NPCs and a dialogue category. AI has gotten pretty crazy this year. It's come to the point where I can make a whole video in Japanese. I mean, watch this. ほら、これを見て。2024 was truly the year of NPCs, and we have some amazing picks to showcase. Starting with Follower Dialogue Expansion. This mod takes certain NPCs and gives them hundreds upon hundreds of new dialogue lines, allowing you to communicate with them more. While these lines are not written by Bethesda themselves and are technically not canon, it is 100% stuff that these characters would say, such as Isolde glazing money.
Money is the oil that greases the wheel of society, as some would say.
Or Janasa talking about her past and how she was discriminated against.
They took one look at me with my Dunmer features and saw nothing but a threat.
I mean, imagine the possibilities. I'm sure at least one of these mod authors made a dirty talk mod for the characters, but is keeping it to themselves. I mean, they have to. Currently, these are the NPCs that these mods overhaul, and I would keep an eye out for others. Some NPCs are extremely boring, and it hurts me to say that the Falmer servants are part of that list, since the lore behind the Falmer and the Dwemer and all that shit is so cool. But in vanilla, these poor brainwashed servants would have generic bandit lines. Never should have come here. But with this mod, it gives them some extra lines, and quite a lot of lines actually. They will be specific to them, and they will put emphasis on their devotion to the Falmer.
Face the Falmer, coward!
And I don't know how many lines there are, but I rarely heard any repeats, as opposed to vanilla. Never should have come here.
My masters have commanded your death.
As you might already know about the Lions expansion mods from J-Serpa, all of these are quality, so it comes to no surprise for this one to be on that level as well. Weirdly enough, whistling is a very therapeutic sound. As you're walking around cities, it gives the impression that people are vibing, and with whistling in Skyrim, you can do that. Now with this mod, they will be whistling a tune every now and then, and it's a very cool and unique thing to see. From the creator of the infamous, but wildly loved farts, burps, snores of Skyrim and those types, now they also whistle. And you'll see Joby1's mods all over this video because there were a lot of great mods from him. I gotta admit, I'm a little bit of a fan. When you think of taverns in Skyrim, the first word that comes to mind is probably sleep. The second one is probably drunk. And the words lively and fun are probably like here. But Joby1 UK did what others never even thought possible, including myself. And now let's talk about sing-alongs of Skyrim. That makes the NPCs and taverns sing along with the bard. The mod covers the most popular songs since it's what people know. If a song is less known, then it makes sense that they wouldn't know the lyrics. They would also sing off beat and off key. I mean, I might as well be a part of the mod myself. And this mod not only introduces the sing-along feature, but also a few new songs that the bards can start playing. And while you can tell that they're done by an AI, we're not quite at the peak of AI singing yet. Some of these are true bangers. We took a look at two mods that make Skyrim's population happier and more lively. Now let's introduce some bad things into the mix. And what's the worst thing you can imagine? Spiders, trolls, Nazim lovers like Monica. Well, you're not wrong about the last one. But no, I have something way worse. You ready? Kids. Most specifically, cheeky kids. The kind of kids that like trolling and insulting other adults because they got nothing better to do. I mean, this is Skyrim, not real life. TikTok and Fortnite weren't invented yet. Sticking to Joby1 mods, we also have Collision Dialogue Overhaul, which adds another ridiculous amount of dialogue lines to the game. This time, specifically when you bump into someone. You'll get called names, or get accused of SA.
Don't touch my tits like that.
Which is, I mean, not that good. And it's really cool to see the different random things that NPCs might say when you bump into them. This next mod answers a 13-year-old mystery. Where do babies come from? Wait, is that in the script? Where does Lydia come from? In vanilla, she would simply appear out of nowhere when you become the Thane of Whiterun, but with Housecarl's pre-Thaneship, all Housecarls, including Lydia, will now have lives before they're appointed to be your slaves. Now you'll be able to see them in their respective cities going about their day. Now, what are the most misunderstood NPCs in Skyrim? Nazim, get the f*** out of here. I'm talking about the guards. They're so awkward and everyone memes on them all the time. It's nice to finally see some mods giving them spotlight. 2024 was a great year to be a guard, so let's take a look at 3 guard mods. First one would be guards pose with weapons, making guards have different poses depending on the type of weapon that they're holding. This gives them more personality and it makes them look chill and less goofy. Also, when they're indoors, they also remove their helmets, which is very, very chill. Then we got city bag checks for guards to check your inventory for illegal goods before entering a city. Finally, guards are doing something about the skooma trafficking. I swear, Khajiit is innocent. My boy Cooper did nothing wrong. Guards will now come to you and you can approach this in a few different ways, like bribing and intimidating, but unless you really got skooma on you, there's literally no point to get a bounty. Remember, don't do drugs, kids. And the third guard mod on the list would be extended guard dialogue. I absolutely love this mod. It gives the guards so many more lines of dialogue and they're all dependent on a few factors such as how much gold you're carrying, or how much bounty you accrued, or how many sweet rolls you're carrying. Just kidding, that's not a thing. I wish it was though. And you know what? While we're here, I'll throw in another guard mod, and that is new female guard voices, adding 2 new voice variants to the female guards of Skyrim.
What's the most exciting posting for a guard? If you find out, let me know.
And the cool thing is that these voices are compatible with the previous guard mod, so you don't have to make any compromises. Next up would be chatty NPCs, introducing small talk in Skyrim. NPCs will now greet each other, ask about the other one's health, or even try to rizz your followers up.
Back from some adventure, I bet?
Here's what's going to happen. You're going to leave me alone.
And to add on that same style of mod, we have follower interact with animations, where your follower would be on the rizzing end. I mean, Janasa has a thing for some women, and whenever a man approaches her, hey, not judging, just observing. My character might be a cuck, but I'm no third wheel like this kid.
It's no fun getting pushed around all the time.
What do you think is the most mysterious NPC in the game? If you said the face sculptor down in the Ragged Flagon, you're on the money. Ignore the antlers sticking out, by the way, that's from another mod. I mean, it's obvious that she's there only for the feature of editing your character, but what if there was more there? And that's where Face Sculptor Expanded comes in. This mod makes the stationary NPC in vanilla that literally does not move have a little bit more life in her. She will occasionally get up and walk around, she will interact with NPCs, supposedly people will want to get their face changed, I haven't seen it myself, but it's a feature there. And you will also be able to pay her to remove bounties since guards will not be able to recognize you. And you'll get a sweet discount if you join the Thieves Guild. It's a J Serpa mod, you know you'll get a bunch of features that really didn't need to be there for the mod to be great, but they are there and it makes it even better. So, looking at all these quality mods, it really was a challenge to choose a winner, but I'm glad that the very diverse panel of judges came to a conclusion. And the winner of the NPC and Dialogue category for the 2024 Nariva Mod Awards goes to Sing-Alongs of Skyrim. Congrats Joby1UK, you clearly dominated the category this year. And you know what video game store dominated the digital gaming market this year? Instant Gaming. Allegedly. I have no data to back that up. Instant Gaming is the #1 place I go to look for games as they have the best prices. It beats all the other digital stores like I Beat Nazim. Looking to play the new Indiana Jones game Todd Howard blessed us with? Or maybe an older classic that I've never heard about. I'm currently addicted to Fallout 4 and I wish I bought it on Instant Gaming cause look at that price! They have an impressive Trustpilot score of 4.7 and get their keys directly from authorized resellers. Use my link in the description to get those amazing discounts, or you can bookmark the link for later. Your wallet will thank you. And I will thank you too because using my link supports this channel directly. And now let's get back to the mods. Moving on to our next category, combat. Skyrim's AI is not the brightest out there. Arguably, it's still better than Starfield, but that's a discussion for another day. You can cheese the heck out of it by going to a place where an NPC cannot reach and spam them with arrows, but with NPCs take cover, they will now run away and take cover when they know that they had no chance. Now that's one of many ways of making the NPCs a little smarter. One of the best things about Fallout 4 is how enemies blow up. Well, with dismembering framework, you can defile people's bodies in Skyrim as well. I've never used that word in a video and I hope it doesn't get demonetized now. But if that won't, this beheading might. Or this one. Anyway, you get what the mod does and why you need it. Did you know that there was a mod that immersively adds anxiety into the game? Oh yes, you're not playing a game to escape stress anymore. Stress and fear adds a system of stress and phobias. The more you get hit in the game, the higher your stress level and the lower your stamina and magicka will be. if a certain enemy type is extra trouble, you'll start developing a phobia for them and you'll be able to overcome them by killing that enemy. It's yet another way to add some complexity to the combat system. And another aspect of combat that really needs some complexity are the dragons. And with dragon combat animations, these encounters will feel more fresh, introducing new attacks that dragons can now use against you. Please don't mind the dragon rend effect, it really pisses me off when dragons start flying, so I kept spamming it. Some of these include the frontal 2 bites, charging at you with big teeth. Oh grandmother, what big teeth you have? It's for eating lunchly more easily. Then you got this wing attack. Oh grandmother, what big wings you have? It's so I can bitch slap you easier. And then you got the wing bite attack. Grandma, what? You Timmy, shut the f up! When it comes to massive combat overhauls, third person is usually what people go for. And lately, we conducted a little poll asking about the proportion of players playing in third person. And I mean, the numbers don't lie. If you're part of the 41%, then I got a nice mod for you. And this is Modern First Person Animation Overhaul, a mod that makes your first person gameplay great again. That's a quote from the mod page, not a political statement. Not during the Nariva mod awards. This mod makes the swinging animations feel more fluid in my opinion, especially when it comes to the swords. The heavier weapons also feel heavier as your character takes a little moment to adjust before finally swinging. Whereas in vanilla, they feel weightless. Slow, yes, but weightless. The bow animations are cooler too, as you'll tilt it a little bit. Now, is this a good strategy in real life? I don't know, do I look like someone who knows archery? If anyone comments about my elf ears, I swear to But it's a very nice mod for your first person combat to feel fresh and great again, however the mod described it. As if it ever was to begin with. An honorable mention in this category would be BFCO, a mod I have yet to test for myself, but it is likely to be the base for new combat setups moving forward, which is insane that a follow-up to MCO is here. This will feature jump, swim, and charge attacks, which is very interesting, but since it's all fairly new this year, there aren't many animation mods supporting it, so I didn't get to try it yet, but stay tuned. And now we have to select the winner for the best combat mod of 2024, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a little hard to choose for this category. I mean, the diverse panel of judges found it hard to decide. But the winner of the combat mod category goes to Dismembering Framework. I had to go with my gut. See what I did there? Another massive category this year was quality of life. But you know what else is massive? Bethesda is not the best at making the game easy to play, and it doesn't seem like an aspect they're getting better at. Thank God for modders, am I right? Well, let's look at our picks for this year. Skyrim's NPCs don't shut the f up, and it's so hard to make up what people are saying, but with subtitles, you can now have more than one subtitle on the screen, helping a lot in that department. In addition, there's also Dialogue History, a mod that logs all the lines of dialogue in one simple to use menu, so you can see or search up what you've missed. This is so useful, especially during endless conversations where you totally stop paying attention. Sometimes it may be a little hard to find a bed, and sometimes 10 septons might be a little too steep of a price. We've all been there. Well, with Take a Nap, you can now sleep on chairs. It's as simple as it sounds, you can only sleep for about 3 hours and you'll wake up with a sore back, which is fairly realistic, I can attest. You know what's super annoying? The fact that your character walks slower than an NPC, but runs faster. Who the f invented that concept? Well, with simplicity of stalking, you can now use the dynamic activation key to follow any NPC around without pressing any buttons or moving the mouse. And all of this at the same constant speed. And no one seems to mind that you're following them. Even children, which is a little bit concerning. Moving items in Skyrim is a nightmare, but with Object Manipulation Overhaul, you will now have a lot more freedom to move items around, and even the possibility of moving items you weren't able to move before, such as chairs and benches. Another contender that is a little more simple would be Better Grabbing, allowing you to take items as usual but disables their collision when you hold on to them. And similarly, you'll be able to move them around. Thank God. And with Grab and Throw, you can also throw items forward using them as projectiles. The main use for it is to distract enemies while in sneak mode, but nothing will stop you from smashing Nazim's head with a cauldron. Do you ever stare at flowers and think to yourself, that looks delicious? And then in order to eat it, you have to take it, open your inventory, find it, select it, and try not to fall asleep. But with Grab and Eat, using the activation key, you can now immediately bring it to your mouth. And not just flowers, this also applies to crops and all. Whatever it takes to bring the wonderful green apple you find on the dirty ground directly to your mouth. And now, of all these mods being great and all, it was again a challenge to choose the winner for the quality of life category, but the prize of the 2024 Nariva Mod Award Quality of Life, whatever bullshit, goes to Dialogue History. Holy shit, there's a lot of dialogue in this game, and thank God that something is logging it now. That's a mod that Starfield desperately needs. Bethesda, please take some notes. And fuck you, panel of judges, you're not getting any say in this. It is time to look at the best location mods. As someone who spent most of the year working on location-related videos, I must say, I missed most of the good ones this year. Because I was trying to focus on compatibility with older mods, but hey, here we are showcasing the mods now. Starting with Fort Dawnguard. JK rarely disappoints, and by rarely, I don't recall a single time, other than the fact that JK Skyrim is not divided into individual cities for special edition, but that's a little detail. When it comes to Dawnguard, from the exterior, the fort now has these really cool wooden roofs and a mightier entrance, making the castle feel more unique and more complete. The interior obviously also looks better and has more detail and fits very well into the world of Skyrim. If you haven't been in this fort before, you wouldn't even be able to tell what is from vanilla and what is from this mod. Now on the complete other end, we got JK's Castle Volkihar, making the vampire's hideout have such a grand entrance. I mean, if you can focus on the entrance. The interior also looks more complete and with more detail. I have pretty much the same things to say about this mod than the previous, except when it comes to Dawnguard, most of the changes are noticeable on the exterior, and in Volkihar, other than the obvious towers at the entrance, has a bigger focus on the interior. Then there's the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuaries. This is one of the most subtle JK mods I've seen, and I'm not saying that as a bad thing. It takes the vanilla level of detail and amplifies it slightly, causing minimal performance drops, and it's enough to give it a more authentic Dark Brotherhood feel. And on the complete other end of the spectrum, there's the Nightingale Hall. Now get ready for some voodoo Daedra worshipping shit. This mod takes the totally abandoned Nightingale Hall and turns it into a livable lair/base that you can eventually use as a player home. While it's set in a cave, it's still very warm and cozy, especially the bedroom, and if you combine it with the mod that we saw in my last video changing the beds, you'll have the best sleep of your life in here. The dining area would be my favorite though, it's perfect for hanging out with your followers. Now let's go to the capital. Oh no, not Solitude. Not yet. The capital of racism. Now that is a political statement. Windhelm Dock Gate is a very small addition to the city, but one that makes a completely insignificant gate in the city actually stand out. It features 2 towers on either side with a walkway between them. That's it. But it's a cool enough feature that while you're walking on the other side of town, you'll see it and say, oh shit, look at that. It would be a shame that those 2 towers fell at some point. That's such a cool and iconic landmark. The mod also features a cool little checkpoint on the outside. Well, they want to take a moment to talk to you about your Lord and Savior, Tiber Septim. And onto the other capital of Skyrim, we got Drangen's Blue Palace Terrace. When I first downloaded this mod, I thought it was only going to feature a terrace. But no, this mod changes the courtyard, the interior, and pretty much everything else in the palace. I mean, holy crap, look how much is added here. The dome itself is bluer than ever, the back terrace is green and luscious, and features an altar thing here. A perfect place to get married, might I add. If you need a wedding planner, you know who to call. The interior is ridiculously grand. The royal bedroom turns into a royal library featuring a bed. The freaking feast hall, oh god, I'm hungry. And the coolest extra addition is the freaking basement that adds a whole other section to the castle, introducing an escape route in case of emergencies. It's honestly one of the best Blue Palace overhauls I have ever seen. This next one answers where water comes from. Okay, that was probably the stupidest mod introduction that I've ever done. But this is Water Towers of Skyrim, a very small and simple mod adding a few water towers to various locations around the map. I mean, you don't know what's in the water, so why not catch rainwater in these and give to your kids? It's a very small mod, but I really do like the concept, and surprisingly, the compatibility with a bunch of city mods is really good. Whiterun is the most influential and iconic city of Skyrim. I mean, this is where the true villain of Skyrim is from. And a city like that needs some big defenses, and that's where Whiterun Has Walls Redone comes in, adding these massive walls all around the city, also including this cool wooden roofs. But you know what else is massive? It really makes the city feel a lot bigger than it actually is and provides that feeling of safety. But we all know that the real menace is inside the walls. And now, for the winner of the Locations Mod 2024 blah 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 blah, Drengen Blue Palace and Terrace. Congratulations, this mod is actually amazing. It's 100% my type of overhaul. 2024 was equally a very good year for animations. Many good choices, but here are my picks. Starting with EVG Clamber, introducing new animations for walking uphill and downhill, taking into consideration the speed at which you're going as well. It affects both the player and NPCs, and it's pretty hype. Then we got dynamic female swimming idols, adding swim animations depending on the type of armor that you're wearing. Clothes and baby outfits will be very chill and relaxed. Light armor introduces a little struggle, and heavy armor would make you swim for your life. Then we have Malignus animations, an incredible conditional mod that also depends on survival mods. There will be new walking, running, and sprinting animations, and a cool one is when you run out of stamina. When you're in cold weather, your character will do anything to try to stay warm and even start trembling. I mean, come on man, put on some clothes. Says everyone in my comment section. It's my game. Let me mod it how I want. When you don't sleep for a while, you'll struggle to stay up, and when you're in dungeons, you'll walk with caution. Overall, there's a lot here, and it's extremely impressive how quality and realistic these animations are. Warning! This next mod will remove the ability to teabag Nazim, but sometimes some sacrifices have to be made for extra immersion, and that's where SD's seamless sneak transition and idols comes in. This mod makes your character slowly get up and down from sneak mode, and while they're in sneak mode, there will also be some idle animations. Some of them are fairly innocent, and some... Now remember that awesome J-Serpa mod from a while ago, Immersive Interactions? Well, we now have a different version of that concept, but now in first person. You'll have animations for harvesting plants, opening doors, lockpicking, touching Nazim's butt, praying, catching butterflies, and more, such as touching Nazim's butt. What's that? Some of these animations are cool, such as that harvesting animation, but you wish you had them in third person as well? Well, with dynamic looting and harvesting animations, now you do. These animations include flowers, crops, mushrooms, and such, and it's pretty hype. But that's not it. There are now animations for crafting. Bet you didn't see that one coming. I sure didn't. Now, depending on the item that you're upgrading, your character will hammer the shit out of it, and some items get special treatment. This can happen at a workbench, grindstone for your weapons. I mean, this bow animation is really cool actually, even if you don't really use the grindstone to upgrade it. But Bethesda characterized it as a weapon, so And at an enchanting table, when you disenchant an item, you suck in its power and it literally disappears. And when you upgrade it, you take out a soul gem from your ass, and then magic shit happens and it disappears again. We now have animations for crafting, guys. That's how starved we are for Bethesda content. Sometimes it's okay to mess things. Are you a religious fella? Cause Divine's prayer animations adds 9 new praying animations. You hear that, you Imperial dogs? 9 new animations. Depending on the god that you're worshipping, you'll be playing one of the 9. Fairly simple, but it's a really cool detail to add. And now a very cool new walking animation for those who use weapons such as staves or polearms if you have the mods for it. We got walking stick, walk with staves, or polearms. In order to get it working, you gotta do some finicking with IAD, click a few buttons, boom boom beep boop, Star Wars. But once you have it set up, you look like a hot Gandalf wearing anime waifu clothes. Now if that's not immersive, I don't know what is. Are you sick of seeing Nazim die? Click off this video and don't watch my channel again. Now, unless you're a poopy Nazim supporter like Brianna, you're probably good to go. And with underdog death animations, you'll be able to see Nazim die in multiple, fabulous, immersive, and satisfying ways. That never gets old, man. There are 62 new death animations, and they're all so nice, especially when people have died in the same way forever. If you're a fan of seeing Nazim die, hit the like button and that subscribe button, because you'll see a lot of that on this channel. And now's the time to select a winner for the animation category of the 2024 Skyrim Mod Awards, and the winner is, I'll let the panel of judges decide. That, they're stupid as shit. It's Malignus animations. And now for the last category in this video, Immersion. Immersion is a large category that can include most of the mods on this list anyway, but these are mods that are non-NPC or animation related that enhance the open world of Skyrim. That's how I decided to categorize it. Animated ships is one of those mods that add a little bit of life to the world. With this mod, you'll have ships from various factions on the waters of Skyrim. Most of these seem to be condensed near the Solitude docks, and that makes complete sense, and it's really as simple as it seems. And it's really cool that you can also get on board of one of those ships, which is pretty hype. Next up, for the same concept, we have Animated Carriage and Animated Carriage Additional Route for having carriages drive all over the map and not only parked at major cities waiting for you to hire them as if you were some sort of main character or something. It's honestly such a super cool mod in my opinion, adding a little bit more life. You remember what Todd Howard once said? You see that mountain? You can climb it.
That mountain is not just a backdrop. You can walk all the way to the top of that mountain.
What a load of horse shit. You can try to cheese it, but with Ascend, Hidden Peaks of Skyrim, you can actually climb mountains. Sometimes. This is a mod that has you explore the nature of Skyrim by finding different paths up mountains. The starting point is marked with this rock cairn, and once you see it, you know it's time for some Dora the Explorer shit. I don't want to ruin some of your own exploration, so I'll only show you one in this video. You'll start following the path, and when it starts getting a little less obvious, all you have to do is follow the wind. I wonder what game inspired that mechanic. There will be times where you actually have to climb using the EVG animated traversal framework, and it's not always as easy since Skyrim is filled with slippery slopes. I swear, sometimes it feels like I'm playing only up or something. Oh my god. And the path up is not short by any means. I mean, it was sunny when I first started. When I got to maybe halfway, it started snowing. Here I'll have to be extra careful, and whoop! That was a test jump. Now we gotta jump, and then we go through here, and then a few more jumps, and we made it. When you meditate, a little tune will play out and you'll get a perk along with a cool haiku. I wonder what game inspired that mechanic. The mod is a real gift. It's clunky, imperfect, but it's the perfect embodiment of what Skyrim is. A true Nordic exploration game. And a beautiful one at that. You'll have an amazing view as you get to the top. Next up, we got some extra immersion that doesn't necessarily require you to get to the peak of a mountain. We got Clofa's sound mods. Sound is underrated for immersion, but these mods include sounds for wind, civilization, standing stones, and many more aspects that truly make it so much easier to feel like part of the world. The next mod is a very simple mod that frees your character from the unending state of AFK syndrome. Sandbox when idle lets your character move around when you haven't touched the keyboard for a while. Removing that spinning camera, it adds some character to your character that makes them feel more like a part of the world and less like your tool to interact with the world. Player characters' feelings matter, guys. You know what I hate? A lot of things. But bad public transportation. Now that really grinds my gears. But what if Skyrim had a good transportation system with travel stops of Skyrim? This mod adds a few bus stops or carriage stops that you can interact with and use to fast travel to others similar to it. Very helpful in the early game before you unlock a bunch of locations. Some of them are sketchier than others, but that's what keeps it realistic. I mean, we all know that feeling when we're at a bus stop and there's a human carcass next to it. So we all know that Skyrim has ants. What's that? You didn't know? Yeah, they actually do have ants, like vanilla. No joke. But where do they go? Well, with this following mod, you'll be able to follow the ant trails and that will lead you to an ant hill. Now, there really isn't much more to it, this mod, but I really like the idea of following the ants and getting no reward. But you wouldn't get a reward in real life too, so stop complaining. Then we got real water in buckets and barrels and pots and pans, adding pee in buckets and barrels. I mean, it looks fairly clean, so it's probably real water, but hey, we never know. I wouldn't drink it. Would you? Have you ever gotten so mad at how racist the Stormcloaks are? What's that? You're a Stormcloak yourself? Well, I was way too lazy to go to the other side of the map to film in the Imperials camp, so we gotta burn the Stormcloaks down. Literally. With Burn and Banners, a mod allowing you to set banners ablaze. I mean, there are so many in the Palace of Kings. If you were an Imperial, you'd be offended. Oh, look at that. Now they're gone. I guess Thor will be sad now. But I don't care because I'm having a great time. This is really one of those really cool immersive mods that are super fun to play around with. I love it when modders make environments and items destructible. I mean, It shows in the video. I'm having way too much fun with this. And now, for the winner of the immersive mod of 2024 of the others category. But the winner is Ascend. I really like how it embodies the whole concept of exploration in Skyrim and makes it so open-ended where you don't really need to follow the path, but you technically should. But I don't know, it's a really cool mod, and you can never go wrong with those mods. I really like them. And there you have it, the top, I lost count, mods of 2024. This is one of the biggest videos that I've ever made, and if it goes well, I'll be very happy to make others. So make sure you show your support by leaving a like and subscribing for more videos. Maybe we can also do this every year, but again, it depends on how well it does, because it's a lot of work. But big thank you once again to Instant Gaming for being returning supporters of the channel, and don't forget to use my link to make all your holiday purchases. I wanted to thank you for a great year once again, and I'm really looking forward to 2025, where I have a lot of content plans. I really have a very good feeling about 2025. Watch this video age poorly in the future. A massive thank you to my Patreon supporters who continue to support more and more content here. Your name can also appear at the end of my videos, or you can be roasted to bits if you choose the Nazim Liver tier. Also, check out my second channel for some less scripted and more casual videos coming soon. Now click on this video or this video. Either or, I don't really care, but happy holidays, happy new year, and for the last time this year, leave me alone.